Welcome to episode 16 of the Skincare Teacher Beauty Tips Show. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the show. And if you're a first-time listener or first-time here watching the show and you would like to learn more about skin, skincare, and cosmetic ingredients, feel free to go back and watch or listen to my past episodes. There's lots of great content there and there's something for everybody. Now, this show is about answering your questions. So feel free to join my Facebook group, Skincare Teacher Beauty Tips, where you can ask your questions. And I will include a link in the show notes. Now, in the Facebook group this week, we've had quite a few things that we talked about. Firstly, we talked about vitamin C and the benefits of vitamin C. So we had a question about, which vitamin C serum is best for my skin. So we talked about that and talked about the ingredient itself. I love vitamin C personally. I think there's just so many benefits to it. Most skins can use it, particularly if you have pigmentation, sun damage. Vitamin C is fantastic at helping to reduce pigmentation and brightening the skin. Vitamin C is great for collagen production. It helps to boost collagen, firm the skin, helping to reduce wrinkles. So it's great for aging skin. I love vitamin C also if you have rosacea because it boosts collagen. It helps to strengthen the capillaries. So it helps to improve the redness that people experience in the skin. So it helps to calm that down. And I love it for healing as well. So anybody with post-acne scarring or any damage to the skin, it's great for wound healing. We know vitamin C is great for wound healing. So it's a great nutrient that is a multi-purpose nutrient and it benefits many skins. So if there's only one serum that you can afford, I would say vitamin C would be it. So anyway, we talked about that in the group. Another thing we talked about, there was a study that's come out where they were looking at how is it that massage can help improve penetration of products into the skin. Now, we're as beauty therapists, we know that when we do a facial massage, or when we do a facial and then we do a facial massage, that it delivers beautiful results and has so many benefits for the skin. But there hasn't been any real studies to find whether it actually works to improve penetration of product. And it absolutely does. And the latest study talked about that. So what they've discovered was that as the skin was rubbed, it shrunk the surface cells, opening up channels as such into the skin, allowing product penetration into the skin. So that's just fantastic. And what they did, they had product with dye in it, and they watched that dye penetrate into the deeper layers of the skin. So facial massage is actually very beneficial, and it does help to improve penetration of products into the skin. So book yourself a facial with a facial massage to help with your skin. Another thing we talked about was skincare ingredients, particularly in sunscreens. So somebody had a question about what is the difference between a physical sunscreen and a chemical sunscreen. So we talked about that. There is pros and cons for both. And in group, when we were talking about it, I also discussed which sunscreen I personally use. So if you'd like to find out more, feel free to join the group. Like I said, the link is in the show notes. Now, today I will answer a question sent in by one of my students, Anika. Hi, Anika. Thanks very much for asking this question. I think it's a really good question to ask because there's lots of people who want to know this. So I thought I'll share it with everybody there. Now, Anika asked how to get rid of lines around the lips. Now, lines around the lips can start to form. I've seen it in people from their 20s, and it depends on your lifestyle, of course. But as you get older, the lines around the lips form naturally anyway as well. So we'll be talking about what causes that, why do we get lines around the lips, and some of my best tips for helping to smooth the lips and help to get rid of those lines around the lips. Because what happens is over time, if those lines get deeper, it can kind of add to the aging of the skin. It can make the skin appear older. But also there's the frustration for some mature ladies, you will know this, you will relate to this, is when you wear your lipstick and if you have lines around the lips, that lipstick seems to seep and crawl into those lines and you just can't keep that lipstick put on the lips. It just seems to move away from the lips. So it can be very frustrating. So let's talk about how to smooth the lips and how you can get rid of the lines around the lips. So, why do we get lines around the lips? Firstly, it is through the repetitive movements that the lines form, and they're called dynamic lines or dynamic wrinkles, meaning because there is movement and change in the environment. And of course, our lips move all the time when we're eating, when we're smiling, pursing our lips, particularly for smokers. So if they're smoking, especially quite a lot during the day, they're constantly pursing the lips, those lines will form faster. And so naturally, we move the lips, so eventually those lines will form as we get older. However, in some cases, that premature aging can happen sooner, particularly if people smoke. So smoking is one of those things that can cause premature wrinkling around the lips. Dryness. So if your skin gets dry often or your lips get very dry, that can contribute to lines and wrinkles and premature lines. You know that you see that when your lips are dry, they look all wrinkly themselves, even though you don't have particularly any lines around the lips as such, but they start to wrinkle. And those fine lines can eventually develop to deeper wrinkles as well. So dry skin conditions, being exposed to dry environment, in harsh environment, could contribute to the wrinkling around the lips sooner. Also sun damage, the UV light that penetrates through the skin can damage the collagen elastin in the skin, which then the skin collapses and then you see the wrinkles start to form. So sun damage is one of, probably besides smoking, one of the biggest cause of wrinkling on the face and around the lips as well. And then, of course, there is the loss of collagen as we age. So did you know that right up until we're about 25, we have lots of lovely collagen in the skin? After the age of about 25, so our late 20s, the amount of collagen that our body produces is reduced. And it keeps on reducing every year as we age. The amount of collagen that's found in our skin depletes over time as well. So not only is our skin not making as much as it used to, but the existing collagen starts to deplete as well. That can then lead to lines and wrinkles around the lips. So these are some of the reasons why you would get lines around the lips. And if you feel like you're young, say you're in your 20s, maybe even 30s, and you're starting to see some significant lining around the lips, it could be because of environmental factors, could be because you're a smoker, dry conditions, too much sun exposure, that's catching up with you. So that could be the problem. So when would you start to see lines forming around the lips naturally? I started personally to see lines in people about 40 years old. So mid to late 40s, definitely by 50s, people started to form wrinkles. Now, these are people who were not smoking. These are people who, yes, they've had some sun damage, because in Australia, we do have a lot of sun damage anyway. So there was some environmental factor contributing to it. And other than that, they were not necessarily smokers. So it was more of a natural progression where you had the wrinkles forming, accelerated by sun damage, of course. So you can expect to start to see some lines starting to form around 40 years old. If it's sooner than that, then that's what we actually class as premature aging. And the premature aging is the result of environmental factors. So whether you're smoking, whether you're sun damaged excessively, spending a great deal of time outdoors, or whether you're exposed to really harsh dry conditions as well. So what can you do to help improve the lips and help to get rid of the lines around the lips? So first of all, it's really important to keep the skin moisturized. Keep it nice and supple, soft and supple, so that the skin doesn't have the chance to wrinkle up, start forming fine lines, which can then develop into deeper lines. So keep protecting your lips with a really good quality lip balm. Now, the kind of lip balm you want is the best you can afford, and look for ingredients such as hyaluronic acid, which is a natural filler. So it's a plumper. It's naturally produced by our own skin, which is when the skin's got lots of hyaluronic acid, it feels nice and plump. So hyaluronic acid is important, and hyaluronic acid we also use for hydration. So it keeps the skin hydrated and nice and soft. Ceramides is another thing that's really important, and ceramides are, again, natural chemicals found in our skin that keeps the skin nice and soft and supple, but it's more lipid based, and it's naturally found in plant oils. So your lip balm may have some natural plant oils such as argan oil, jojoba oil, or olive oil, olive fruit oil. So there is a number of different plant oils that are very rich in ceramides. So they either use a plant oil or they extract the ceramides and pop that into the lip balm. So hyaluronic acid, ceramides are really important. Now, that's good to have for morning and night, to have a really nice lip balm. Or like me, I look for lipsticks because I love wearing lip color. So I look for lipsticks that have built-in hydrating, conditioning ingredients to keep the lips nice and plump. I personally rarely suffer with dry lips, and mostly it is because I'm constantly wearing lipstick all the time. It is something I've always done. I enjoy wearing lipsticks where it's more nude or something bright like I'm wearing today. So yes, lipstick's great with the built-in, say, shea butter or mango butter, hyaluronic acid or vitamin E, all wonderful ingredients to keep your lips nice and supple. Now, the skin also needs to be protected from the sun. So if you're outdoors, outside, having a lip balm or lipstick with an SPF in it is great. Now, if you're using a lipstick with lots or like a very heavy, no, not heavy. If you're looking for lipstick with rich color, so it is a highly pigmented lipstick, you will find that the minerals they use for the color will help to protect the lips somewhat. I, though, always wear a sunscreen on my lips. So I always apply sunscreen all over, including my lips, before I then use my lipsticks. So just because they've got color doesn't mean that they give you good sun protection. So it's always important to wear sunscreen underneath. If you're wearing just a lip balm, look for a lip balm that has an SPF 30 or 50 in it to protect your lips from sun damage. The other thing I would recommend for people to use on their lips to help to plump them out and to help to boost collagen production is to use your peptide serum or peptide cream on the lips as well. Now, I always take my peptide serums and creams over the lips, and I also love using it around the eyes. Or if you have a particular eye cream with the peptides in it and hyaluronic acid, that's great also to use around the eyes. And of course, here's a little tip. I always use, whenever I apply eye cream around the eyes, whatever I have left over on my fingertips, I apply on my lips. It's just a little trick we learned as beauty therapists when we first started doing facials, is that when we finish the facial, we're applying the eye cream, we always put that on the lips, and then we put the rest on the face, the serums and creams and sunscreens. So there's a little tip. Use your eye cream on the lips, and it'll help to just give it that plumpness. If they have peptides in them and hyaluronic acid, even better. So look for a cream or serum with peptides if you're starting to notice signs of aging like wrinkles around the lips. So that would be good to use on the face, and then making sure you concentrate around the lips too. It's also important to exfoliate. Now, you can use your regular exfoliant around the lips. So when you're exfoliating your face, you can absolutely use it on the lips. I do. But sometimes you want something a little bit special. So you can use a specific lip exfoliant, or you can even make one yourself at home if you don't have anything handy. So very quick lip exfoliant, use brown sugar, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of honey, and an oil. So you need either avocado oil or olive oil or even coconut oil, whichever you prefer. Mix all those three ingredients into a nice little sort of runny paste. You don't want it to be too dry because you don't want to be too abrasive. You want it to be more conditioning. So the sugar will exfoliate, the honey will condition and soften the skin, and the oils will help to soften and moisturize the skin. And you'll feel amazing afterwards. Your skin will feel so soft and smooth. So you just need to rub it into the lips for, 1 or 2 minutes, rinse off, and then apply your lip balm. Your lips will look amazing. So you can already purchase some that are professionally made, and they make some really delicious ones on the market. So it's a nice one little to spoil yourself, or you can make one yourself at home, or like me, I use the exfoliant I use on my face, I use it over the lips as well, which is totally fine. Now, I also like to use a mask on my lips. So if my lips are particularly dry, after I've exfoliated my lips, if I have a hydrating mask, and I always do, I always have one on hand, a nice jelly hydrating mask, I pop that on my lips. And if I'm using it on the face, I rub it on the lips as well to give them that extra moisturization and plumpness. Now, you have to be careful which masks you use, because if your lips are over dry, they're cracked, and they're feeling really raw and parched, putting something like that on will penetrate into the cracks, and it can be a bit ouchy, a bit stingy. So in that case, you probably want to use something that's specifically made for the lips and something more emollient rather than just hydrating. But if your lips are just slightly dehydrated, just you want to give them a plumping effect, a hydrating mask is great. But if your lips are really dry and cracked and parched, then you need something more emollient with oils in it. And a nice nourishing creamy mask would do quite nicely. There are, of course, masks on the market that you can purchase that are specifically made for the lips. Even those sheet masks that come like a little piece of cut out lips that are soaked in a gel that you place over the lips to plump them out. So you could have fun with that as well. I tend to use just the mask that I use on my face. I use them around the lips as well, that are specifically either for plumping, hydrating, or more for dry skin to nourish and help repair if they're really cracked. So if I've been skiing or been out in the sun too much, they become really dry and cracked, then that will help to repair. Now, how about professional treatments? So if you want to take it to the next level, and rather than just using natural remedies or home remedies, you want to then take it up to the next level and take it to your esthetician or beauty therapist so that they can actually help you with some deep lines around the lips or some premature aging, then I have some tips for you. So the first thing I would recommend is regular facials, and ask your esthetician or beauty therapist to particularly concentrate on the lines and wrinkles around your lips and on the lips. What they will do is to make sure that they exfoliate really well around that area, and that when they do the massage, that they massage the peptide serums and creams into the skin particularly well around that area. So they'll just do a little bit extra focus on that area. And some of them actually do specific lip treatments. So you could actually add that onto your facial where they have specific products and specific sheet masks or masks that they can use on the lips to plump out the lips. You could actually do that as well. Other thing I would recommend is LED skin rejuvenation. I love LED for its plumping effect, but it's also great at boosting collagen in the skin. And of course, collagen is what will help to plump the skin out, particularly around the lips if you've got lots of lines and wrinkles. So if you wanted to have a plumping effect, you can have an LED treatment. Your whole face will benefit, but your lips will benefit as well. There are some treatments on the market where the therapist has a handheld LED applicator that you could just focus on and around your lips if you would like to do that as an add-on to your facial treatment. Now, the thing that I did that I found benefited and I saw really good results with, about 5 years ago, I noticed, I don't know how, but one morning I woke up and there was this line on the lip. I'm sure it was forming for some time, and then one day I just noticed it. So one day I noticed it, and when you notice it, when you see it, you can't unsee it. You know what I mean? You've been there. So that every day I look at that line. Where did it come from? Why is it there? I just don't get it. It wasn't there yesterday. So anyhow, I had this line, and it was, I swear, every day I looked at it, it was getting worse. Could be psychological, who knows? But it was bugging me. It was bothering me. It was bugging me that I had this line. No matter how much makeup I put on or moisturized or hydrated, it just didn't seem to soften up the way I wanted it to. I thought, geez, this is just going to get deeper and more pronounced as I get older. I've got to do something about it. So as a matter of fact, I actually started doing some fractional RF, which is fractional radio frequency. So it's micro needling with radio frequency in the same sitting. So my beauty therapist, who looks after my skin, recommended that for boosting collagen and anti-aging, because I was talking about how I'm concerned about my skin starting to show aging, lines and wrinkles and sagging. And she said, this is fantastic. I've done some research, loved the research, and decided to go ahead and do that. Now, I noticed my line starting to form, and it was deep enough that it was bugging me 5 years ago. Today, it's no longer there. It's gone. So I've begun doing fractional RF treatments. I think we're going back now 3 years, and I only do it one every 6 months. So I don't do too many. I've done all up 5 treatments so far. Fabulous results. Love fractional RF. On top of regular facials and good skincare. I must be clear about this. If you're just going to do advanced skin treatments without supporting your skin at home or prepping your skin for the treatment at home and then maintaining the results with regular treatments, then it's a bit of a waste of money. If you really want to get the best value out of it and get the best results, establish a good skincare routine at home first. Make sure you get really good quality products on your skin morning and night. Have regular facial treatments, and then this would be as a top-up or something that you can just accelerate and do something a little bit extra with your skin. So I love fractional RF personally. For me, it is tolerable. It can be a painful treatment. However, I find that it is tolerable for me, and I have gone back. I've gone back 4 times. So I've had 5 treatments. So I have gone back and I've seen amazing results, to the point that I felt that 5 years ago I was starting to think about injectables and wrinkle injections and so on. And yes, I've dabbled with those in the past, but they never last. You know, you'll have a wrinkle reduction injections and they last a couple months, and you're back to square one. What I love about fractional RF is that the skin actually improves all the time and the results last longer, much longer. So like I said, that wrinkle that was really, really bugging me around my lips is gone, which I'm really pleased about. The lines and wrinkles around my crow's feet are also not there. And look, my skin has aged well because I've looked after it. I've always used high quality skincare, the best I could afford. I've always protected my skin from the sun. So it's aged well, but, I'm aging. So I've started to noticing the signs, so I did something about it. So LED fractional RF is something that I would highly recommend after you've established good skincare, you're using good quality products at home, and you're doing regular facials. So those are the first things you need to do first before you consider the more advanced treatments. Laser skin rejuvenation is another option for people with deep lines around the lips. I've heard good things about it. I personally haven't tried it, or I haven't actually done it myself, but I've heard good things about it. So that's another option you could perhaps explore with your esthetician and beauty therapist. The laser treatments that are ablative, that means they peel your skin essentially or resurface your skin, I would be talking to dermatologists and doctors more so about those kind of treatments, because they're a lot more invasive and intensive. So you would need to, they're powerful machines, very powerful. So you need a doctor or a dermatologist to perform those treatments for you. And of course, then there is the final option, yet in many cases, most people go to this as the first option, which is injectable fillers. So fillers. And that's fine, all good. But again, it's not permanent. It's only a temporary measure. And something that they're discovering and learning now is that people who tend to overfill their lips end up with really saggy and wrinkly lips down the track. The skin actually stretches and they find themselves having to put more and more fillers in. Now, this is only for people who overdo it, overfill it. And it's easy to overdo it. Once you see those big plumpy lips, people want more and they keep going back for more. So as long as your doctor or registered nurse are really experienced and they understand how much is too much and really can guide you in the right direction. This is all you need to just enhance your lips rather than having really big filled lips, because down the track it's not going to be a pretty thing. In fact, they're predicting one of the biggest surgeries that will be requested coming in the years will be to reduce the skin, the stretched skin around the lips, to correct the overstretched lips. So that's something to think about. So yes, injectables are fillers. They're instant. Just go slowly and go easy with it. Talk to your dermatologist, talk to your registered nurse, and aim for enhancement rather than like a natural look rather than overfilling, which could cause problems down the track. If you want something more permanent, then I would probably go down the track of regular maintenance, like good skincare, regular facials, try LED, and particularly I love fractional RF, where I've seen some fantastic results. So there you go. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your questions about why you get lines on the lips and what causes them, the things you should avoid to prevent the lines on the lips or the lips getting aged faster, and how you can care for your lips on an everyday basis, and some of the professional treatments. I hope that helped, and if you have any other questions, join my group and I shall see you there. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.